What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't done a lot of Honda Fit content lately, but today we're gonna tackle the interior. One of the first mods I ever do to any of my cars is actually the steering wheel. I usually switch it to either a Nardi or a MOMO, but all the cars I've had are super old, so it's very simple, no electronics on the steering wheel, etc. So this is a little different because I have cruise control on the steering wheel, but we are going to retain that. There's no one-stop shop or one kit you can get to replace this with an aftermarket steering wheel for the GD3 Honda Fit, or honestly any of them, I think. So I'll show you what I pieced together. First and foremost, I got this MOMO Montecarlo steering wheel. I've done this on a few of my cars. I really like this. It's a really standard, good size steering wheel. I actually got this during Black Friday last year. It comes with a MOMO horn, but I did get the Circuit Hero horn just to change it up. Here's the MOMO horn and the hardware for the steering wheel. And this piece is by Seb's Garage. He's been making all the GD3 parts that I've been mentioning in the past couple of videos. It looks pretty self-explanatory, but we'll figure it out. And this part actually took forever to get. This has been out of stock for a while. This is let's get a close-up on this. This is actually a hub adapter for an EK. Everyone's saying an EK hub adapter fits on the GD3, so we're gonna try that out. This is from Circuit Hero, which I've gotten a few parts from before. So this is actually going to retain the clock spring, I believe, so that we're able to use the horn. Don't really know how that works because I haven't opened this up before, but we'll figure it out. So the first thing I believe to do is remove this cover on the bottom of the steering wheel. Okay, so we unclip that and disconnect this. Okay, that's disconnected. And then there are two torque screws, one on each side of the steering wheel, so we're gonna remove this left-hand side. And the other one you can see right here on the right-hand side. So now that both torque screws are removed, you should be able to remove the airbag, just like this. There should be one connection right here. Okay, airbag removed. Okay, so now we're just gonna make sure that the steering wheel is straight, and we're gonna remove this center bolt. All right, be careful when using an impact. You just wanna do it in small increments just to break it loose. And then we're gonna remove this white connector right here. Okay, white connector's removed. This should come off. Okay, steering wheel removed. So let's dive into here. So now that we have the steering wheel outside of the car, it's much easier to work on to remove the cruise control. So on the back of the cruise control, there's two screws that we're gonna remove. And then on the front side, you have one screw right here. Okay, three simple screws. This should remove. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's just attached to this rubber piece right here. We're gonna disconnect this green connector right here. All right, cruise control buttons. Now let's figure out how this works with the adapter that Sebastian made. So now that we have the cruise control, there's three screws in the back. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's right here, here, and here. So we're gonna remove that. All right, let's remove this carefully. So the front housing is gone. Collect your three screws. All right, so here's the switches. So I noticed that these two holes on the bracket actually match the holes on the top and the bottom. Something like this. Oh, perfect. The fitment on this looks pretty good so far. And because you can't use the OEM screws, he provides actually hardware, a nut and bolt solution. So we're gonna mount that up right now. Also, just FYI, the bracket only fits in the front of the cruise control. It doesn't fit in the back, so it's really hard to mess this up. And if you can see in the front, the metal right here is countersunk, and the hardware that he gave you, or me, is countersunk as well. So the bolts are actually gonna go through the front. This is honestly really tricky to do while looking at a screen on the camera instead of the actual product, but we can kind of make it work. You can slowly thread this into the cruise control housing, the plastic piece, and then we're gonna use the other bolt, feed it through. It looks like it's kind of working, no? All right, the bolts are screwed in. It's honestly kind of sturdy on its own, but obviously you don't want this backing out. So he provided these little locking nuts. So the bolts in the back are tightened, and honestly, it feels really sturdy on this bracket, so that's a good sign. Now on the original steering wheel, we have these original wires, which we're gonna remove. It looks like it's just held by this screw right here, so let's see if that works. Probably just feed this wire now. Oh, there you go. Nice. There we go. So this goes into the steering column, that goes into the cruise control. So we're back in the car. Here's the hub adapter I got. The Circuit Hero one has a hole in the bottom, just in case you need to feed wires through it, like let's say the horn, so that it attaches to the steering wheel when it's mounted. You can see here on the spline, there's a mark right here to show the center of the steering wheel. So you're gonna wanna rotate this and try to match it up as much as you can, so that when you put this on, there's a spline inside too, a female side. So as soon as you put this on, it should slide in. Okay, so now that the hub is on, let's just look over the wires that are remaining. So the black one is for the horn. The green one is for the controls for the cruise control, which is right here. And then the yellow one is for the airbag light. So the one we for sure know we can plug in without any issues is the cruise control. So that actually just plugs in right here. There you go. So the horn actually uses one wire, not two. This wire actually came with the hub adapter from Circuit Hero. This just plugs in right here. So you'll hear it snap. So this is not going anywhere because it's locked into place. You can push this and pull it out, but it snaps in place. And now this, I don't know if you guys can see this, but that red wire is going to clip into this metal piece right here. So the airbag light, I got this from Steering Solutions, I believe. I'll link it below. These are resistors that you're gonna put into this connection right here. So you're gonna see right here on the top, there are bigger holes, and then in the bottom, those are smaller holes. You're gonna wanna put these into these smaller holes. And you're gonna wanna make sure you put it in all the way, or else you're not gonna get a connection and the light is gonna stay on. And the last one right here. Okay, that's all there is to it. Take the big bolt. Bolt is in. We're gonna feed the wires, the two resistors, through the center of the steering wheel hub, and then the horn as well through the steering wheel hub. Unfortunately, the cruise control is gonna be somewhat exposed because it's gotta be outside of the steering wheel because the buttons are gonna be on the side, but I'll probably tape this up later so it's not as much of an eyesore. All right, so the wires go through the cruise control adapter. You can mark it if you want, but this is the hole that I'm gonna use as the top that's gonna make the steering wheel center. So we're gonna keep this in place. We're gonna attach the horn wire to the steering wheel, and you're just gonna carefully mount the steering wheel. It's kind of tricky because there's holes in the hub itself, there's holes in the cruise control adapter, and then the steering wheel horn, and then the actual steering wheel. So you're trying to match up 4 holes at the same time while you're not pinching any of the wires. So just be careful, take your time. This might just take a couple minutes, but it's better to do it right instead of pinching a wire and just messing it all up, you know? Let's start to put the screws in. So top screw is in. Let's do a screw on the opposite side. Make sure everything matches up. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's see, moment of truth. Power's on. Horn works. Overall, I'm super happy with how it turned out. Everything works, no lights. And it just feels a lot better than the stock steering wheel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.